Welcome to the WD168. God gives us 168 hours every week to live, love, and serve. This is our take on this 168 from the Western Diocese. We begin this week by noting the passing of Reverend Father Asorig Jamgochen, an archpriest of the Armenian Church, who has served in the Western Diocese for the past 2 decades. He entered his eternal rest this week. Father Asorig has shared his God-given talents to the service of our church at several parishes, including the Pasadena St. Gregory Armenian Church, Sacramento St. James Armenian Church, Whittier, Las Vegas, and most recently to the Victorville community. He was loved by those who knew him. His children make a testimony to his devotion and character by sharing that he was first and foremost father to his family, children, and most recently grandchild, exemplifying the best of that unique title. He leaves behind Yeretzkin Sona and his loving and caring family and friends. Final rites of the Armenian Church, which includes the consecration and burial, will be held on Monday, September 13th at St. Leon, Srpos-Revontians Armenian Cathedral in Burbank at 10 a.m., with His Eminence Archbishop Hovnan Derdeyan, primate of our diocese, presiding and officiating over the last unction. Now, ironically, on that same day, the same day of Father Asorig's burial, September 13th, another priest would have turned 41 years old. Another priest who tragically succumbed to the coronavirus. We mourn the passing of Father Marakia Amirian, the Dean of the Youth Centers of the Mother See of Holy Echmiadzin. Father Marakia was ordained into the sacred priesthood by Hovnan Sarpazan back in 2007, and since that time, we have witnessed one of the most dynamic and energetic servants of the Armenian Church, who shared his love for life, our church, and our nation with everyone. He worked with Sarpazan on many of the youth projects, especially the Pan-Armenian ACYO program of the Mother See of Holy Echmiadzin. Through the years, whenever he'd visit the United States, Sarpazan would invite him to celebrate the Badarak at several of our churches, and many of our congregations were blessed by him. His warm and sincere mannerism reflected the best of Christian character. In fact, less than a month ago, he made his final visit to our diocese. Father Marakia loved serving, and he was loved wherever he served. Truly, he was loved by all. I mean, young and old. Clergy and laity will attest to this fact. Whether in Argentina or in Armenia, he always had an entourage of children who vouched for his youthful devotion to Christ and Christ's message, "Let the children come to me, for to such belong the kingdom of heaven." As we offer our condolences to the families and friends of these 2 clergymen, we also offer our condolences to our primate, Archbishop Hovnan, who feels the pain of these losses as their spiritual father and mentor. May God rest their souls. We also take this opportunity to make the point and the reminder that for everyone to take COVID seriously, vaccinate and mask. We've given up too many people this past year. Be cautious and then be extra cautious. In this state of mourning, it is important to proclaim the message of life and the strength of life in faith. For the Christian, the message of the cross is one of victory, of keeping hope alive. It doesn't slip by us that next week, September 11th, is the 20th anniversary of the terrorist attack on America, commonly referred to as 9/11. It brought about the longest war in our history, one which ended just a day ago with the U.S. troops pulling out of Afghanistan. The stories and messages coming from there are tragic, and once again, we see humanitarian crisis that seems to be all too common throughout the world. We in the Armenian Church are the witnesses to crisis and to overcoming crisis. In fact, the message proclaimed at every one of our churches through our prayers and our hymns is about this potential of overcoming evil with good. On September 12th, Sunday, we will be celebrating the anniversary of the Srpos Remontian St. Leon Mother Cathedral in Burbank. Archbishop Povnon is inviting everyone to participate in this commemoration and celebration. Use it as an opportunity to rededicate to your faith, to your commitment to the ideals of life and the power of good over evil, love over hate. September 12th, on the feast of the exaltation of the Holy Cross, we will be gathering at the cathedral, and Srpazan is asking for you to join us, whether in person or online. The Holy Badarak, the Divine Liturgy, will be followed by a gathering honoring and celebrating the legacy of Mr. Armen Hampar, who headed the building committee of the cathedral and was one of the prime benefactors of the cathedral. Or in the words of our Lord Jesus Christ, where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. So mark that date on your calendar and join us, September 12th. There is a lot happening at the diocese and at our churches. Check in locally with your parish and, of course, with the Western Diocese for all the latest. The primate of the Eastern Diocese of the United States, His Grace Bishop Daniel Findikian, will be the guest of Srpazan and the Western Diocese over the next few days. We bid him welcome. During his visit, Bishop Daniel will meet with our clergy and lay leaders as they share with one another to broaden and strengthen the ministry entrusted to us by God. We will have the story for you next week. Meanwhile, we ask for your prayers. We take this opportunity to wish you all a pleasant Labor Day. Remember, your labor and the life it sustains is the greatest gift of God. Celebrate it, and whatever you do, be careful. I look forward to seeing you online, in church, or next week as we look at that 168 from the Western Diocese.